It was still what's the name of the company again?
Abstergo.
Abstergo, yeah. So Abstergo, it wasn't as big as Assassin's Creed 4, right? When it turned into a company where you had to play it.
That was 4.
That was 4. It wasn't like that in 3. It wasn't
No.
that big. So I think once it hit 4, I think that's where it started to outlive its time. Why? Because it wasn't Desmond no more. Desmond died before. They made it into a company, into like a video game company. They made it a video game. I mean, hey, that's a cool idea, but it wasn't part of Assassin's Creed story anymore. It was just like people were just saying, I still want to see Assassin's Creed, and they said, okay, we'll give you Assassin's Creed, but we have nothing else to do. What do? Make it a company, make it a video game. And now the new one, it's like what, a TV show or something?
No, I don't know what it is. It's just there's still some like conglomerate. They're a huge company.
It's weird. I think they just want to see more past events and just put it into a game. I feel.
But here's the thing, that's what Assassin's Creed is really about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even through the first trilogy, including and then the branches of Brotherhood and Revelations. I know me, I loved the Desmond story, but a lot of people didn't give a shit about Desmond.
I loved the Desmond story.
They only wanted to do it to be
me.
an assassin.
Yeah.
They wanted to play as Altair. They wanted to play as Ezio. To me, 3 had the worst assassin campaign. I hated Connor so much.
I like Connor, actually. I enjoyed his with the whole meteor thing and the whole half Native American.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I just feel like the game, it's like the campaign for that itself, I just couldn't get myself to really love it like that. You know what I mean? But, you know, and now the reason I feel like it didn't outlive its time is because if you had the most recent one, you would see they actually added a lot of mechanics into it that they didn't have in previous games. Like now, they added where, you know, you're running on rooftops in the other games, you're running across the rooftops and all of a sudden you just straight left by accident and you're flying right off that roof. That's it, you're gone. And then you fall 20 feet and you die.
So it's like more realistic.
But now, they have an option where you're not just running free roam, it's you're running up or you're running down. So if I click running up and I go onto a wall, I'm climbing that wall and going up. But once I'm on the roof, if I want to get down, I can run straight to the edge of the roof. Instead of X for run up, it's circle for run down. And once I hit the edge of that roof, I climb down. I don't jump right off into the sky.
I fucking die.
Right. I actually jump off, and maybe he'll twist around and grab the ledge and drop.
Okay.
Or he'll drop to the next nearest ledge and go like that. And you can actually descend from a building that's 40 feet high, just go. You know what I mean? And it just does it. To me, that was great, because I can't tell you how many times I walked across the clothesline or the tightrope through buildings and it just flew off by accident.
Yeah, I remember those.
You know, I hated that.
I remember having to like jump off, but he'll jump.
Yeah,
like, really?
He'll leap, and I'm like, I just wanted to go 2 feet that way, and now you leapt that way, and I'm dead. You know, and to me, that mechanic was amazing to add. They also added crouching now. You actually get to crouch and cover behind objects. You know, and you actually cover, like in you know, shooting game where you can actually take cover. You cover behind things to hide. They don't have cover mechanics. No. Like an actual cover. Like you could actually, you know, take cover and hide and sneak around people. Like I had to sneak around guards that were in, like, by a fireplace, and all I did was sneak around the couches to get to the other side.
But also, like, that when they see you, it's like your image stops. Like that's where they
that's where they miss you.
I think that's really good too.
The last time they saw you was that silhouette, and then you can go off.
They do add these cool mechanics and stuff. I mean, like story-wise, it did outlive its time. I mean, I always want to. I mean, one reason why I didn't get the new ones because I got bored of it. Like I felt like it was just repetitive. It's the same thing. You run, you jump, you do this, you do this. It didn't give anything like. I mean, yes, that's the new mechanics. It gives it something new, but it just makes it more realistic. It doesn't make me jump off and get, you know, like die and stuff. It just, I felt like it's repetitive.
But that's
it's
the
too
thing.
boring.
Like even all this time later into the franchise, there were still new things for them to add to it to make it a better experience. Also, they brought back the planned out assassinations. Remember in the first game, if they told you here's your target, you had to go around the city and eavesdrop on a conversation, get information.
They brought that back?
Or, you know, you had to pickpocket a note from somebody and read it.
That.
And he gave you information like, oh, this person's going to be here, but 10 minutes later he's going to be by himself in an alleyway. Take him out then instead of dealing with the guards there. Like, you had to plan out your assassination. They brought that mechanic back, and it was lost after that.
Yeah.
No game after that had it. It's like, here's your target. Let me run right up to him and stab him, and it's over.
In the midst of everybody.
Right, exactly. You could just walk right up to him. They brought that back now, where you had to plan out your assassination. Like, you know, this one guy, it was one of the first full assassinations you had to do, and instead of making it like eavesdropping or pickpocketing, it was more, you had to plan out in that moment. Like I pickpocketed a key from a guard, and with that key, he was in the church, the guy. With that key, I climbed to the top and used the key to open a window. And because I opened the window, I was able to get inside without having to go through the front door or anything like that. I actually ended up hiding in the confessional booth, and when the guy came to confess, I killed him. You know what I mean? And there was another one where if you covered these vents that had smoke coming out of them, I covered all of them. And then all of a sudden, like, it did nothing at that. I thought it was supposed to do something. It didn't. I covered all of them, and like 20 minutes later, after I'm done with the assassination, I'm in the sewers, I finished the assassination, now I need to escape the sewers. By covering those vents, it made all the smoke stay in the sewers, and no one could see.
Oh shit.
So only you could see, because you had the eagle vision. So now everything's foggy, no one can see anything, and instead of having to fight all those guards, as I'm running through the different parts of the sewer, because it was so smoky, they couldn't see.
Yeah, they couldn't see you.
I just was able to take them out, no problem, or actually run right past them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so doing all these things actually gave you a sense of, I want to do these additional objectives to make my job easier later on.
Yeah, they made it very realistic.
Or to make a better assassination or an easier one, or, you know what I mean? Something like that. To me, personally, it actually gave me a sense of Hitman. You know, like in certain Hitman missions, you would have to do these...
That was a fun game.
Right. In especially the new one that came out, you had to do these small mini objectives within it to be able to have an easier assassination kill.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? And that's what I feel like you got in this game, was when you had to kill those big guys and you had that plan out moment, doing these small little objectives made your job easier. You know, or made your kill easier, or made your pathway easier. You know what I mean? And adding all those mechanics, I feel like it did an amazing job for it. The subplot, I guess you can say, of where Desmond was and now you're somebody else, it did dwindle down a little bit compared to what it was.
Story-wise, it did.
That story, fine, but, you know, you played... I mean, how long did you really even play as Desmond in all those other games? Not long. It was all about the assassin
you know what's the thing? Those characters, Altair, even Ezio, did look like Desmond, though. That's what made him much more like...
Well, they all had that scar.
They all had that scar, but even the face kind of looked like... Altair looked the most like Desmond.
Right.
Ezio, you could tell, like, even though he had the beard, long hair, he did have a little resemblance to Desmond. I think they lost at Connor. I don't think Connor looked like him much. Maybe just a little bit, but... Once they hit... You hit Edward, Connor's grandfather, and Black Flag. It was like, that's it with Desmond. That was over. I mean, but the whole thing, like, why was like repetitive for me, like it did outlive its times, because at that time, 1500s, 1600s, the oldest cities. I don't care if it's Italy, if it's England, France, whatever where it's at now. They all look the same. The buildings look the same. I mean, like now you can have a modern looking building, a different looking building. Every building's different in a way. Like in the century, in our century we live in now. But like before, it's like they all look the same. But what made it repetitive is like I was looking at the same environment. Well, like even though the first one was the best, it was brand new. Assassin's Creed was brand new to people. The fourth one was also one of the best. Like I enjoyed the fourth one because you go in the jungle. It was a different look. You saw a different look in Assassin's Creed. Even though I hated sailing, I thought shit. That's like in Grand Theft Auto driving from one place to like over here. You know, you hated it, but you saw a different environment, which I enjoyed. Like when I saw Unity, I was like, it looks the same. Like I look like I'm in Italy, and it says I'm in France. You know, so that's why I was so iffy to get it. You know, maybe I might get it, maybe not later on, but I'm a little iffy to get it. I just feel like it outlived its time for the way it looks, the story. Even though they added cool ass mechanics, I won't lie, it's cool. It's more realistic.
And they added more, okay, remember back in Assassin's Creed 2, you had to solve those riddles to unlock the video.
The artifact stuff, right?
Right, you had to find the glyphs on the wall in Eagle Vision, and you got a riddle. What they did now is you actually solve Nostradamus riddles.
Oh, okay.
Which is really interesting, and if you solve them...
You unlock stuff like in number 2?
Yeah, well, if you solve the riddle, you get a fragment. And if you put all the fragments together, it makes a key that unlocks a special armor in a case or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they brought things back. They brought riddles back. The riddles I always loved in that game.
Yeah.
And also they have a mini game where you actually have to cross a rift through the Animus.
Oh, wow.
You know, like suddenly my mission was over and suddenly everything went crazy. like this big gust of wind is coming, everything's blowing everywhere, and there's a portal, and I actually had to climb the building and get through the portal, and suddenly I'm like in between rifts. You know, like I was now in Paris, but it was actually like 100+ years later, and there was actually a train, like a metro station. And I went on the train tracks, and the train came.
About this, yeah.
You know, like it actually jumped you, and you had to get back, and I climbed the Statue of Liberty.
That's cool.
Being built.
That, you know, when you told me that, I wanted to get it just to see that. Just to see that. I mean.
Like these little. That wasn't even a mechanic. That's an addition to the game, and you could actually go back and you have to save other people playing as the assassins, and you have to go back into the rift and collect data and save them. You know, like these little mini games that they added. You know, these side quests that they added, the mechanics that they added. To me, it didn't outlive its time only because there was still so much they could add to the franchise. It wasn't. Now you say it's the same image, it's the same. That's fine, but to me, it's like they still added. It wasn't to me. It wasn't the same repetitive motion. Like if I had to pick, all of Ezio was more repetitive. You know, and two is my favorite one.
Yeah.
But 2 Brotherhood and Revelations was repetitive. You were Ezio the whole time. You had the same mechanics in all 3 games. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that.
The same game, but like a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, that was more repetitive than what we're getting in Unity because they added so many mechanics or side quests and.
One thing about Unity though, the graphics. I don't know. It's
the graphics to me for a PS4
game
is a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But
that was one thing that really made me not want to get it. But after I saw it, I was like, the graphics are not that good, you know?
Right.
Which is really, but you know, if they really made a game where I would really pre-order it. If they made like a very not futuristic, but like more modern. I want to see cars. You know, I want to see like like stuff like that, like Assassin's Creed. You know, I think I would pre-order that shit like.
That would be hard.
Before.
Like, to actually
that would be hard to do, yeah. But
I
think that would be something different and something good.
Climbing skyscrapers would be crazy.
The fucking eagle views from the sky.
How about but you did that in Desmond. Remember? I think it was in 3. You had to find something, so you had to actually climb a skyscraper.
You had to, like, it was like you were mixing yourself in with
and you had to climb the skyscraper to get to the top. But, you know, doing something like that would be crazy. But I don't think it outlived itself. I don't know how many more they're going to make. It might be coming to that point.
Yeah, it might be
like maybe, okay, now Unity is actually 5. You know, main title. And PS3 got Rogue. That's what PS3's title was.
Rogue? Is there anything different?
It's a totally different story. You're a different guy.
A different guy.
It's a different game, yeah. But if you had to say with a main title, like Unity would be 5. Maybe there's going to be 6 or 7, but I don't see it going Final Fantasy status and having Assassin's Creed 14, 15. Yeah. But I don't think it outlived this time yet. I think there is still more for us to see, and I still enjoy playing them like crazy. So.
I mean, with other ideas and other places to see, I think they still can do some more. But as Assassin's Creed fans, if you don't have the PS3, that sucks because that makes you want to play that game.
Yeah, it does.
You're curious enough to know, like, okay, now what's this story gonna be about? Like, I feel like that was ridiculous what they did. Two different stories. Like even they did with Liberations. That was the PSP version.
Oh, yeah. That was like a branch off.
It's like if you don't have the PSP, you can't play that game. It's like that sucks.
I never played that game.
Yeah, I know. I never played it also, but hey, it's like I want to. You play it as a girl. I thought that was pretty cool. You play it as a girl. That was something different they did. Oh, that was it. That's it for that segment. Okay. Well, I know you took that one because you're a much more bigger fan and you know much more than I do of Assassin's Creed.
That's 2.
That's 2.
That's another one.
You guys say
I admitted it.
You're retarded.
Why?
Because you don't just give up on a debate like I do.
No, but I didn't give up. The debate ended first.
Yeah, but then you just said, okay, you won. That was my job to say who won, you dumbass.
You were going to say he was going to win anyway.
Maybe I wasn't, because I could give 2 shits about Assassin's Creed. I never made it past the first game. I couldn't get into the story.
Oh, God. Okay, what's the article, weekly article?
We got Matt's weekly article. Let's go.
Bring out the fancy folder now.
He's upgrading.
We invested.
We put some money. Is this the first page?
It says page 1 at the bottom.
It was a joke. I know.
You had one job.
All right, today's weekly article is about Arkham Knight.
Nice.
Yes.
So, basically giving you the article is telling us a little bit about what the game's going to be about. Since it starts off with the Joker's absence created a power vacuum in Gotham, and the Scarecrow has returned to seize control. He's threatening Gotham with a large-scale chemical attack, forcing the authorities to issue a citywide evacuation. This is how the game begins, it says. Mm-hmm. A little later on into the... give me the word.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The preview.
Oh,
okay. They're like the cutscene.
Yeah, the cutscene. You see one of the cops' bodies like get thrown on the floor, and it's like massacred. His body hits the ground. It's brutal, remorseless, and the camera pulls back, and you see Two-Face and the Penguin standing over the corpse. Then the narrator tells Gotham has been inherited by the Scrum's criminals and worse. Then they talk about that the Batmobile is now like the centerpiece of Arkham Knight. So basically now it's telling you can drive around.
That I can't wait to do.
That's gonna be fun.
To get from place to place, you can jump in the Batmobile. They said there's a scene where Batman actually jumps off the building.
And
into the Batmobile?
And he floats down.
Nice.
And you see his car. He'll land in the street. Batman stands in the street. It's saying there was a video with the article. He hits the street, and it looks like the Batmobile's gonna hit him. Makes this really sharp turn. He jumps up, gets in, and drives off.
That's crazy. I can't.
That's real Batman stuff.
Like they showed it, like it actually looks like him in the movie.
Yeah.
Where it just flows with it. Like it's not like cutscene, boom, he's in there.
Yeah.
No, you actually see him float in, and then you drive off. They said the Batmobile is built like a tank now. So like if you hit,
like the tumbler was,
it's got the same sound effects to it. It says that alright, when he's driving, you hit a corner of a wall, you actually take that pillar off the wall.
Wow.
Like you'll knock the pillar down.
Nice.
So like you can hit buildings, and you can bust through some of those buildings.
Oh shit, cool. That's awesome.
They were saying that you can make the turn, so it's not like if you make a turn, you gotta make this stupid ass turn. No, you could make your sharp turn and keep going with the Batmobile does. It's not gonna slow down.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna make that speed turn.
Okay.
His suit is more armored, they said, and you could see that the sections are made out of the carbon fiber.
Oh, nice.
So they made it like his suit and the Batmobile. You could tell Arkham is as one. It's like the vehicle. You look at the Batmobile and you look at his suit. You could tell they're part of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they coincide with each other.
Okay, good.
They're making that the Batmobile is like a character itself. So they give you upgrades for it, like you do with the Batsuit.
Oh wow!
And you upgrade the weapons. They're giving the Batmobile upgrades, weapons, and all that stuff you could do. They're saying that Arkham Knight tears down the walls of Arkham City. The guy in the article said he only saw from the detailed Chinatown to the grim industrial makeup of Falcone Shipping Yard. The city also unfolds naturally and fluidly. Arkham City's map and memorable areas, but there was nothing much between, like keeping them together. But this one, you could tell.
This one, it's like a better city.
You'll see.
Because Arkham City was like weird. You know, when you get on the floor, it felt weird.
You were in a different place.
When you were on the buildings, it was like Arkham City. Like you, I just said Arkham City. I'm sorry. Arkham City. Arkham. Okay. In Arkham City. It was like when you were on the buildings.
When you were in the buildings, you were in a totally different place.
Yeah, when you got on the floor, it was
ground.
like totally different.
You were in two different places.
Weird.
This is saying basically when you're up on the buildings, you know you're still where you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like alright, boom, you drop down to the street. It looks just the same amount. So it's like the graphics aren't changing when you're going from place to place.
Right.
So it looks like alright, I'm in Arkham City. I'm dropping down to the floor. I'm still in Arkham City. It's not like you're in two different worlds.
Yeah, no. You know what I'm really hoping for? If they're the way they said that the car, like you could drive the Batmobile and how like it drives fluidly with the city and all that. I hope it feels like a Grand Theft Auto game in a way. Why? Because in Grand Theft Auto, the car fit on the road, and like it looked like real. Like, it was like real life. And like Arkham in like Arkham City, it was more like a like the car. If you were to drive the car, like the way the streets were, like Batman looked bigger than like the street. Like the car looked like it would be over the sidewalks. Like the way like you could tell if you had a Batmobile in Arkham City,
it would take up the whole street.
Yeah, you couldn't drive through it. Like there was no way of going through it. Like
yeah,
I feel like now
it's
like now, right? They built it around the car.
Yeah. Like I feel now it's like you can. It's like a Grand Theft Auto. Like the guy feels fine. Like Batman feels great running through the city, even driving. Hopefully, he feels just like that. Because
then they say the combat was like the biggest thing.
Oh, because that's like the best. That's the best mechanic of the whole game.
Kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So they made more combos, more counters.
Oh, great.
Batman looks even more powerful. He's got newer moves. And more environmental attacks.
Oh, great. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait.
Like this says, Batman grabs one of the Riddler's henchmen, crashes his skull into a nearby generator. And like you could see it. It showed a little video where he just smashes his head, the generator explodes.
Yeah, but Batman doesn't kill people.
Yeah. And then he's got a new skill. It's called the Fear Takedown. So it's basically Does quickly. It does.
Does he look at them and they crumble?
It's a chain attack. So you remember back in Arkham when they had the guns?
Yeah.
It was impossible to take them down.
Oh yeah, they freaking shoot you all the time.
This basically you could take down 3 guards with their guns.
Oh, okay.
You drop down, boom, they're all down. That's what I'm saying.
Does it say anything about the detective mode thing?
No, it doesn't say much.
Did they keep that? I don't know if they.
Yeah, they have to keep it.
They're probably going
But
to.
in a way, if you think about it, Arkham Asylum used it the most because that was really where you were doing like detective shit in Arkham Asylum. Arkham City, you didn't really do much.
Yeah, you did.
You did I don't remember.
What do you mean? When you actually solve the murders?
Yeah, you have to solve the murders, but you didn't use only for those
and
parts.
even
you used it a lot.
Origins.
But Origins, Origins.
Even though it's not part of the trilogy,
Yeah.
Origins used detective mode a lot
No, you
too.
did, but I think that Arkham City used it the least out of all of them. I felt.
There's also a part where it says you can eject from the Batmobile, shoot your grappling hook up,
Oh shit! Oh,
No, I heard
launch
it,
yourself
yeah.
into the
I didn't
sky.
hear about that one.
And then the biggest thing is the article saying that Arkham Knight owns Batman. It says, of course, standing behind the Scarecrow is the new villain, is the Arkham Knight. At the very end of the demo, they were saying Batman is ambushed by the Arkham Knight who beats him to the ground. His silhouette resembles Batman, but there's no cape and his armor is more futuristic. His voice is digitally altered and refers to Batman as an old man and says rather that this ends tonight. And that was how the demo ended. And that's how they were saying that might be how the game ends.
How the game ends?
Nah. That doesn't sound like a good ending though. If it does.
It's just that's.
I mean, that's just what they're saying.
saying.
But I'm like, from what they're saying, I don't know.
That would be a terrible ending.
But that's like if they were gonna go.
Probably,
with
it's
just-
probably not even gonna be the ending of the game, to be honest. They're probably not.
No, but,
No,
like,
but if
they
you know
were
what,
to
all the
take it
games
as
take place in one night.
that they
all
said
the
they
games-
might not be doing that either in this.
Really?
They might extend it a little because
Yeah, it's
So
true.
you fight during the day?
no,
When the hell
you would see it transition.
Like there's a cutscene of him home, and then all of a sudden you're back outside at night again. Yeah, okay.
No, but it's not gonna take like all right. I did everything in one night.
See, in the other games, to me, in one night was a little ridiculous. Because just the pace of the game and what you had to do, like, when the hell is the sun coming?
Hours.
Yeah, when is the sun coming
Yeah.
up? But at the same time, it was interesting because if you really, like, once you beat the game, if you really thought about everything that happened, like everything Batman went through that night, that's a crazy night. And, like, you saw his armor, his suit get ripped apart as the missions progressed. You know what I mean? Like, you would look worse and worse after each villain fight, after each explosion, in a cutscene, something like that, where you were cut up and your armor was destroyed. If they were to do multiple nights, you know, what would you have? You would have ripped suit one night and then go home, go in the closet, grab another one, and then you're new again.
You know what's
You
funny?
know?
Because playing that game, there was a point where his suit wasn't ripped, and then when it starts to eventually get ripped and stuff, there was a point where I was like, oh shit! I was like, they made it where you can actually rip the costume if they attack you. But I'm like, and then later on playing more, I'm like, no, that's not true. I was like, they're not attacking you and it rips the costume. It's getting ripped throughout the game.
Right.
More and more.
Like as the story progressed.
Yeah, so then that's where, like he's saying, it takes place in one night. I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. It's all taking place in one night. Yeah, it's like it's like a movie in a way, you know, like a movie in one day. Like it's
yeah, it all takes place in one night. That's why if this one takes place in multiple nights, that's just, to me that's just weird. You know, like oh let me do this. Now I'm gonna go home.
It's just one person.
Get something to eat. I'm gonna take a power nap.
Well, yeah,
only like 3 hours
you
max.
get to play that. You watch him sit on the toilet. Sit on the toilet.
You're like Deadpool, like Deadpool. You go to the bathroom.
You know what I mean? 3 hour power nap tops. Alfred's gonna iron my cape out. I need a new one.
It's gonna reshow it for me.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna pop this back on and go out.
No.
I need to refill the Batmobile because it ran out of gas. I'm driving around Gotham all
You can
night.
sit there and watch Robin do his Pilates.
Like the one night thing I always enjoyed in the games.
No, I think that was cool. I mean, also
But
introducing.
we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Also introducing a new villain.
That's awesome.
I think it's
and
awesome.
it's a new villain in the
because
universe.
even
It's not just a new villain for the game. It's actually in the universe.
Yeah,
if
in
they
the
wanted to, they
universe.
can stick him in the comic.
because in a way I've seen. I mean, in Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, even Arkham Origins, you've seen the same villains all over again.
Right.
You know, it's like okay, I'm bored of them. You see everybody already. Killer Croc looks like in Arkham Asylum Origins. They look like two different Killer Crocs. You know? I really didn't understand that, but. Even though it falls under the same universe, but it's like you saw everybody already. It's like I want to see somebody else, you know.
What bothered me in Arkham City was that you didn't fight all the same people. They were there,
Yeah,
but
they
you
were
didn't
there,
get
but
to
you
fight
didn't
them all.
fight them.
Like, Scarecrow wasn't there. You got the Easter egg of his mask.
Yeah.
That's it. But Killer Croc, you fought
Wait,
him.
which game?
Arkham City.
Arkham City, you saw the mask.
Not the one. Oh no, Arkham Origins is where you're running around with Scarecrow, right? When he's trying to get you with the lights and all that.
That's Arkham Asylum.
No, that's Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum hit you with
I
the
think
fear gas.
I think Origin. You fight
wasn't in
Scarecrow.
He wasn't in Origins. You fight Scarecrow in Asylum.
And Asylum, that was the end because he disappears on the boat.
No, because I remember that.
No,
like,
Asylum. He's in the
leaves.
water.
No, I
He's in
remember
the
it
water,
looked like
yeah.
a platformer game. When Batman.
Asylum.
That was Asylum.
Where Scarecrow's gigantic.
Yeah, and you had to open like
That was Asylum.
a gate and all that. That was Asylum also.
And then the spotlight hit you. He killed you.
Oh man, I
Because
remember Asylum.
that's because Scarecrow's main thing was Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, no. It was. I'm not saying I played him in.
like-
I remember
like
playing
Killer
him in
Croc
another
New
one.
Origins.
You fought Killer Croc in Asylum.
Asylum, yeah,
And
he
then
chases you.
And come Arkham City,
Yeah,
there was only a cutscene with him.
and then
Yeah.
You go into the
Origins. And then
sewer.
Origins, you fight him in the beginning. He didn't when you didn't know he was Killer Croc.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the beginning of Origins, he's like, "Who the hell is this?" It's like it's a giant crocodile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no one knew each other.
No
back
one knew
then,
each
right.
other. Yeah.
But, and then the second one, there's only a cutscene with him where he pops out and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I smell death on you. I'm not
Yeah.
going to kill you. Because you had the poison in you
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and then that was
I
the
wanted
end
to
of it.
fight you, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But now I'm hoping in this one you get a taste of everybody. You know, I hope they don't leave people out. I mean,
I mean,
Joker,
the whole
they're
thing
gonna leave
with
out, obviously.
what was it, Origins where they put in Deathstroke?
Origins and Deathstroke.
I think that was a great addition to the
Deathstroke was in
game. I
Origins.
think that was a great addition to the game.
Origins was Deathstroke.
No, but that was
Yes,
a
the
great
game with
addition to the
Deathstroke.
game with Deathstroke in it. I think that really did a good number on that game too, because that was like somebody you didn't fight in the other ones, you know?
Right. But I'm really excited for this game. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait, man! I can't.
cannot wait.
They already came out with the two DLCs when you pre-order it. You got Red Hood, and you can play as Red Hood and Harley Quinn. I thought it was awesome they did that.
Yeah, I can't
Red
wait.
Hood looks sick. Even though I was so confused about his costume because he looks like he has a freaking bat in the middle of his chest. It was like it looked like a Robin symbol, so that, the R. But like, remember Batman Returns? I think it was with what's his name? Michael Keaton. I think that's Batman Returns. Where he has Robin, or was it George Clooney, the one with Robin in it?
Robin was in George Clooney's.
Yeah, remember his
Batman and Robin.
Remember
cool.
his costume?
That's why I didn't answer. I'm just
Oh, I don't remember. It's a whole fucking movie. Remember his symbol? It looked like a freaking bat.
No.
No?
I'm gonna sit here and remember that.
I thought you would. You would remember that. You don't remember that. He
No.
makes fun of me. I fucking Batman Returns. I'm thinking. Nah, whatever.
that's not important.
No, but I'm saying that it looks like that. Just it doesn't make any sense.
No, but I
that
can't
we
wait
have
for
that.
this game. I really can. I can't wait for the mechanics. I can't wait for the Batman.
Yeah, I can't wait for the fighting again.
It's fine.
That was the best
I
part
played
of the game.
Arkham Asylum. I played Arkham City. I just totally never touched the Origins.
I played Origins. I didn't beat Origins.
I stopped.
You stopped because you couldn't beat
I couldn't beat
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke for shit.
Because he kicked your ass
Yeah,
every time.
Exactly. The way you two talked about it is like, forget it.
You would never pass it.
So
Oh
He goes, I faced him 12 times and couldn't beat
He
him.
beat him on the second try.
On the second try. The first try he beat me and he's like, ha, I told you. And I was like, oh wait. I was like, I got my feel for it now. You know, like that was my first time. Now I know what he's gonna do. I know my feel for it. I'll beat him the second time. Yo, okay. Oh look, he's done.
That shit pissed me off. I was like, what?
Two? It only took you 2 tries. No, I
I'd still
can't
be
wait.
trying to beat it.
I can't wait.
Nah, that game I can't wait for.
Okay, so sorry about that. The camera actually ran out of time, the memory card. We have to invest in bigger memory cards so that we have longer time. Sorry about that, but Brandon actually had a comment that he was saying and it got cut off midway. So we apologize and we're going to continue the debate. No problem. Okay? Go.
Yeah. So I was saying that I can't wait for the fighting again in the game actually, because I enjoyed that the most. The fighting, it was just the best. Like
Well, the combat in those games did it right. In fact, the combat for those games inspired so many others. Like if you remember Uncharted, the combat for Uncharted seemed similar. Just you had the same counter.
Yeah, even
Counterattack
even
mechanic
the Amazing
and-
Spider-Man games, it took it from there also.
Yeah, like it all had the same feel to it after
Yeah.
that. Like it revolutionized it, and I'm just excited for it.
Yeah.
And
And you,
I have to.
you, Mr. Batman,
Yeah.
Mr. Batman, who never played Origins.
who never played Origins, but yeah, I'm so excited. Do we have an actual release date yet?
No,
Like,
I think.
think
a
so.
deadline, like that's the date?
No, if I remember putting it on my phone, but I think it's January. I think it said.
They
I'm
said
not
they didn't
mistaken.
know yet.
Well, January, if you look at the GameStop things, January just holds the place of a game that doesn't have a date yet.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's going to be January of next
Yeah,
year. but it's really
because
not.
I have that
Also,
as January 1st.
Wow, and you
Yeah.
never even noticed that. You're
Yeah.
like, wow, look, January 1st.
It's also a year later. After
From City?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to show, like, I don't think Joker's going to be in the game, but I wonder if they're going to show if Batman has any psychological thing, like having Joker die.
Yeah,
you know
no.
what I mean?
You know what was it? What was it? We heard before that somebody we know in the Arkham Knight suit. I was saying, like, imagine if it was Joker this whole time. Like, supposedly he didn't die. I mean, of course we saw him die, but something like maybe his son. You never know. Does he even? I don't even know if he has a son or not.
I don't know if they.
You never know, but Harley Quinn, if he ever had a son, probably.
You never saw the Easter egg in the Funhouse.
What? Did I say what?
In the Funhouse, in Joker's Funhouse in Arkham City. If you look at it, I can't remember what room it was. There was like a cradle.
There's that little cradle, yeah.
And there was a pregnancy test around that all said positive.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that one.
So they say, oh, Harley Quinn was pregnant. But I don't know if they're actually going to follow up on that.
I mean, if they do, it would make sense. It would make perfect
But it's
sense.
only a year later. It would only be of age.
Yeah, that's right. It's only a year later, that's right.
Yeah,
But I wonder
just said that.
if they're ever going to follow up on that. So.
But I guess that's it.
I'm really mad that we had to get cut off like that. Like we only had like a few more minutes left, but yeah. So okay, that's it for this week. As always, comment, subscribe, like, any improvements we can make, any movies,
any ideas you want us to do.
Yeah, any let's talk topics you want us to handle, put it in there. Any games we missed that you felt was a bust, or any comments you have about Assassin's Creed, Batman, anything at all. Just put it in. We're gonna read it, no matter what. If you want to tell us how your day went, we'll read it and we'll comment back. All right. So as always,
I'm Matt.
Brandon.
And I'm Anthony. We'll see you next week.